Malachi Rector is a frequent poster on GAF, is what you're saying?
Yep. And Reddit. He was on the front page the other day.
Whoa! Made it all the way to the front page. Alright, let's take this necklace, dumb lady.
Signore Filoni, I was so struck by your elegance
Not chatting her
during our
up.
conversation. I saw this in a shop today.
Lady
but for
Garth says,
some
not
reason,
all
I had the
rectors.
idea that it must be owned by you and no other.
Oh, Signore, how could you have known, eh? I had a similar necklace that I wore for many years, but recently, well, I was forced to part with it. I shouldn't accept it, but it has been years since I've received tokens from such a handsome young man, eh? How can I refuse? Mille grazie, Signore.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Austin in the chat notes that his name
I'm
is
sorry to trouble
Mr.
you with a
Rector,
distressing subject,
like
Signore.
Miss
May I
Director.
ask you about the night of the murder?
Clever.
I really don't
I
want
guess.
to talk about that.
I guess. I don't know how that's significant yet,
Who
but
wouldn't be? But I'm not the police, and this information is not for the courts. It will stay between you and me.
Well,
what about Mr.
A musician like
Dexter?
yourself,
Miss
your ears are very keen.
yes. I heard her scream
Director?
as if her mouth
That's
was
not.
covered
Is that a
by
word?
a
No.
hand.
No.
You looked out the window. What did you see?
There were two
And
men,
then other people in the chat are just like spoiling other name
small.
things. Like Alucard spelled backwards is
Did you see their
Dracula, says
faces?
Horrible Femme.
No, their heads, their faces, they were covered in black.
Miles
as if
per hour
they were
equals
in a
miles per
play.
hour, says
I
Austin.
swear. Oh, perhaps
messed
I've
up.
been foolish. I should have stayed quiet. I must go. Thank you for the necklace.
Tolvo
Signora.
says, so is this like Mass Effect? After you do quests, you have to have sex with people. I mean, this is a modern RPG, right? This isn't an RPG, really. But yes, let's assume.
Seer says, oh god, no, that animation would be the worst thing.
Thank you, Signor Toledo. I'm sorry to intrude at a time like this.
I've been asked to speak with you,
Is
and
this-
that request came directly from the U.S. Embassy.
So I assume this is
Impressive.
her husband?
What interest does
Yes.
the United
Okay.
States have in my wife's murder? Do you think it was a terrorist act? Why would they want to hurt Bianca?
I don't have the answers, Signore. I'm still investigating.
Very well. I've already been over everything with the police a dozen times, but I'll do what I can to help you.
Great.
It
Wow,
would
this
help
music
me
is
to
really
know
good,
more
though.
about you.
Very well.
It's chill, but it's really good.
Was Bianca your first wife?
See, I worked hard all my life, and I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed my youth. But a man who wishes to accomplish certain things in life needs a wife. Bianca was everything I needed. She had beauty, style, connections. I doubt I will ever find her equal.
Tell me about your work.
I am consigliere
Vorpal
of
says, why
Venice.
doesn't he just
I used
Wikipedia
to
this guy if
practice
he's such a
law,
genius?
but for now,
a fair
my
question.
focus is exclusively on politics. Venice is struggling. As is
Maybe this
all
is set in an
Italy.
alternate universe
It
where
will take the
Wikipedia
best
doesn't
of all
exist.
of us to save her, if we can.
I mean, we've already established that it's some kind of weird,
Tell me about
like,
Bianca.
cyberpunk where
would you like to
everything
know?
sucks. And people have, like, portable computers and stuff.
Did your wife play piano?
No, she was quite musical, but she preferred dance. She was in a
Man, I'm glad the
classical
real
dance
world isn't
company
like that.
before we were wed.
Imagine if you could carry a computer around with you
The piano.
everywhere?
Bianca
Jesus.
loved to
Ugh.
entertain, and music was
KV
always a
Zuki says,
part of
what I don't
such
get is why an
evenings.
antique dealer is investigating a murder. So this strange future technology organization hired us, and they basically, like, there's no real reason other than, like, that they wouldn't tell us why they did it. They're mysterious and evil, probably. And all they said is, like, hey, listen, this is the amount of money you usually make from traveling to Venice to get, like, an antique. We'll pay you double. So we're just doing it for the money, I guess.
How did you meet Bianca?
Both of these guys look
Bianca's family
real
is one of the
comfortable
most
sitting in these
influential
chairs.
in all of Italy. I have known her father for many years. I watched Bianca mature. She was the perfect politician's wife. She loved meeting people and doing philanthropic work. I knew she would make the perfect
Seer says this
wife
is a
for
world
man
where
of
instead of
my
breast implants, there are
ambitions.
shoulder implants, so all the young men
Fortunately,
have
her
huge
father
pointy
agreed,
shoulders.
and I was able to convince her to marry, even though she
That
was
seems
quite
accurate.
young at the time.
That's the world I've been waiting for, so.
How old was Bianca when you married her?
She was
And people are
18,
talking about
and I was 43.
Whoa, whoa.
She was very mature.
She
for
was
her
18
age.
and I was
She knew
43.
the life she wanted, and I
This guy's a
could give it to her.
creepo.
She was happy
Gross.
in our marriage, especially once our son came along.
Listen, I'm pretty open about age differences with people, but that's a little extreme.
I realize it is difficult to speak ill of the dead, but Bianca must have had some flaws. No one is perfect.
It is a good thing that I, myself, am a man who often has to say things no one wants to hear, because otherwise I would throw
Man,
you
check
of
out
the
the
house for
shoulders
that
on that guy.
impudence.
They're so pointy.
Getting to the truth is not always pleasant.
Love
She
it.
was
You
a
think
beautiful
those are
young woman.
real?
She had some insecurities. Never
I mean,
thought
real
she
or
was
not,
good
all I
enough,
know is I just
perfect
want to
enough.
nuzzle my head into them.
Perhaps I should
Ugh.
be grateful for that. If she had been more confident, she might never
Scratch
have
my
married me.
face in their
I
points.
appreciate your honesty, signore.
Get in there.
Bianca quit dancing after you were married?
Of course, it was hardly appropriate for the wife of a
That
man
part
in my
annoyed me.
position.
Which part?
He says, did she quit dancing after you got married? And he goes, yes, that's not appropriate for a woman in her position anymore.
Very true. Accurate.
How old was
Rude.
Bianca when you had
Dancing
your
is not
son?
appropriate
It was
in
a
any
year
situation.
after our marriage. She was 19. Does that have some relevance?
We'll see.
J Fabulous says the faces look okay, and I have to disagree there. In general, the faces are okay. It's the eyes. The eyes are like, and that's the thing that always is tough. Like the hardest thing to get right, I feel like in games with character models is the eyes. Like, it's so easy to make them look awkward or inhuman. They look very awkward and inhuman with these
I
characters.
must ask you about Bianca's murder.
Especially when we're on the bridge. We weren't even looking at who were we talking to.
Yeah.
Do you know who killed Bianca?
No. She
Straight
was a
up, do you know who
beautiful,
killed her?
gracious young woman.
Yo,
She
I
had
think
no
he would have told the
enemies,
police.
Nor do I.
Tell me
I don't know,
about
you're
the
so
night it
charming.
happened.
Bianca wished to attend the
But
concert.
maybe
She had
only
a
to
number
old
of
ladies who you buy
musician
necklaces
friends
for.
from her student days. I declined to go with her. It was nothing important, and I preferred to get some work done. Now I wish I'd never allowed her to go out alone.
You couldn't possibly have known. It's not your fault.
I hear you have unpopular
I've heard that
policies.
you have unpopular views. Perhaps someone took
Like
offense to them.
marrying teenage
Think someone
women
would be cruel
and
enough
not
to
letting them
harm
dance
my
anymore.
beautiful young wife because they did not like my politics?
I think people are not very wise and often violent.
I cannot control what madmen think or do.
Okay.
I'm afraid I must get back to work. In times of fiscal crisis, one is not even allowed the solace of grief. You may stay and look around.
Maybe-
I have told the staff that you are free to
I
come
mean,
and go.
you talk about the
You'll
eyes
find
not being
Bianca's
very
bedroom
human. Are we
through
sure
that
these
door
are
there.
human?
And before you ask,
Maybe
the
maybe
house
this
has plenty of
maybe
room.
they're just not
Bianca
humans.
liked having her own sanctuary. We were happily married.
Purple
I
Femme
would be the
says
last person to judge such an arrangement.
Prime
Thank
Minister
you for
Robert
your
Downey
time,
Jr.
Senor
is pretty
Candelo.
possessive of his wife. But then
Goodbye.
again, she's young enough to be his daughter. Okay.
A wedding photo of Bianca and Dante Cardolo. She has a striking
So he's letting me
figure,
just hang out in the
but I
house
can
now,
see
which
it
is
around
weird.
that large bouquet.
And you get to go back whenever, which is
The
also
sofa and
weird.
chair are
Very
Queen
strange.
Anne, but they've been reupholstered in red leather. Hideous.
Hideous.
I prefer to stand.
You,
The sofa and
creep.
chair are Queen Anne, but they've been reupholstered in red leather.
yeah.
Bianca liked to entertain. I imagine there will be few parties in this room now, at least until Signor Cardolo remarries. I don't play.
Okay, Veizuki is now the second person to point out that this game seems a
Mm.
little bit classist. Little teensy bit. Am I gonna steal these flowers? Definitely not.
Sympathy cards for Bianca. That brings home the tragic aspect of all this, doesn't it? I've no use for those cards. White roses, traditional for funerals and weddings. Appropriate since both are equally tragic. Sympathy card.
I want to steal it.
I have
I
no
want to steal
use.
this card.
Oh wait,
The Cardola home is on one of the oldest
What's up?
and most prestigious
you,
canals
you
in
missed
Venice.
something that you want in there.
No. Okay, I'll go back to it. I don't.
There's like a green looking ear thing in the flowers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Florist's
What?
buddy. The material can be
It's not an
surprisingly
actual ear, but it
versatile.
kind of looks like one.
It
Florist
does,
buddy,
and as soon as you
useful
said that,
substance.
Oh
But
no,
I did not.
He said the same thing that you just warned me about, which is he doesn't need it right now, even though we know he'll need it later.
Okay, well, just remember the
Someone must
ear.
have a love of dance or bare navels. It doesn't
God,
do
this guy's a
anything.
dick. I don't. This guy's a dick.
He is.
Yeah, take those pills. Maybe to lighten you up.
Dance images and more family photos.
Jesus
Boring.
Christ. Never mind, it didn't lighten him up.
Signor Cardolo said this was Bianca's room, which means I presume that this was
I feel like
not
he
the
just hates
matrimonial bed.
everything, though.
The desk is 19th century.
He's an
Italian
equal
design.
opportunity, just miserable person.
Yeah. That's probably true.
He does lighten up a little later,
The
if that
notebook
helps.
looks brand new.
Steal these
Postage
stamps.
Do people actually mail things
Jesus
anymore?
Christ. Oh. Fuck off.
Bianca's planner. It's open to the day she was murdered.
I mean,
She
I
wouldn't have a
agree, but
concert for
also
that
fuck
evening,
off.
But there's nothing else relevant.
I still mail stuff. How does he write? How does he
Interesting.
send his rent checks?
They
I
look
mean-
like drawers, but they're decorative.
This dude doesn't
They
pay
don't
rent.
actually open.
You see his apartment later.
Nothing
No
interesting.
way, he probably owns that shit.
He has people pay it for him.
Nothing interesting.
He has a fucking assistant, so...
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got the
like
lady
the
pays the
Blank
rent.
envelopes. Nothing interesting. They look like
And I
drawers.
mean, come on,
Perfectly
Gretchen's
ordinary
his
clothes.
assistant. That's not people. Like he's not
Nothing
talking about.
interesting.
Yeah.
He's not talking about her.
Bianca kept some
I mean, of
pens in
course
here.
she
No
mails
surprise.
stuff.
It is a writing desk.
Blech.
A small desk clock. Worthless.
Great.
Her robe and slippers are still laid out, waiting for Bianca to come home. I wonder how long it will be
Vorpal Femme
before
says,
someone
"Isn't his
dares put
apartment
them
covered
away."
by a truss?" Probably,
Yeah,
actually.
probably.
The bench looks like it's been well used. I can't relax in here. Too many reminders of Bianca.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're
Tragic
really just so sad.
The stool goes with the bed set. It looks rather useless. Nearly everything in this room matches. I prefer more...
Everything has a value to this guy.
Yep.
Like,
That walk.
maybe
if you weren't some weird skeleton in a suit, you might have a use for clocks and footstools.
That must be Bianca's son. He's young to lose a mother. It appears to be an old family Bible. Really not my cup of tea. The top drawer of the dresser.
It's Goggler says, "I just got here and I know nothing about this game. Why is our protagonist such an
Gloves.
asshole?" Because his
Gloves.
mom got
Quite an
eaten by a
assortment.
lion in front of
Not
him
many
when he was a
women
little
wear
kid.
gloves these days. I wonder
Probably.
what Bianca saw in them. Interesting. This glove is quite large. It would
Plus, he
fit
takes
my
mysterious
hand.
pills that we don't know yet.
I wonder if I'm
These
gonna
overly large gloves are
need these gloves at some point, huh? Alright. So it doesn't seem like there's anything else I can do here at the moment. I have 9 of 13 data points, but I probably need more, huh? Yeah.
You need all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Is there somewhere to go right now? Do I have anything to do? I don't even know.
Do you want a hint? Or do you want to
Well, let me go to the map first and see.
Okay.
I guess I can look at my thing for a hint too.
True.
Except I can't figure out how to use it, so maybe not.
It pops up if you have one. Like a new one for it to give you. I don't know why it doesn't have any for you. That's weird.
What, yeah, sure, I'll take a hint.
Where was she found? Like,
What?
they found her doing something when they found the body. So maybe you should look around that area some more?
The murder bridge, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was hanging over.
Bloodfist just says murder bridge? Really? Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah.
The police
It's a
clearing?
prime tourist location.
There's nothing I need to access on the other side.
I really like that Tolvo is just
According to-
analyzing the interior decoration of her room.
According to Brunetta, not a soul in those buildings saw the murder.
I don't...
I feel like if there was a place called Murder Bridge, that would. I'm responding to Seer here. I probably should have read the comment first. Seer says, "Yeah, all the cool kids go to party there on Friday nights." I mean, if there was a place called Murder Bridge in my town, that's probably where I
I
would hang
don't
out.
think Brunetta has any more information for me. I don't need to call him right now. I don't need to call him right now.
I can't talk to anyone. I don't understand. I want to give me these hints and it won't let me.
I don't know what that's weird.
Nothing is coming up at all.
Okay, let's see if there's anything in this info.
Hey, your fellow polygoner Danielle's in the chat, and she says, "You guys, this game."
Yeah, so Danielle is the one reviewing it for Polygon, who I mentioned not a fan, let's say.
Okay.
I'm excited for her review. The hint system is useless. That's the hint I will give you. So it's not even worth it. You want a more explicit hint?
Yeah.
She was dangling over the water. Maybe something fell out.
But I can't
The
do
police
anything here.
The
Oh, wait.
water.
Oh.
That wouldn't do much. There's something on the bottom of the canal.
And
Could
it
have
didn't
fallen from
move?
Bianca's purse?
And the police didn't find it?
Yeah.
That wouldn't do.
How? Okay, well, so I need to get something to allow me to get that? Is that the idea?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus
And you already
Christ.
saw it
There's
and
something
said
on
that
the
you
bottom
wanted
of the
it.
canal.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Hello again, Mr. Rector. Signore Barozzi. I'd like to take this boat pole. Can you put it on my account? Of course.
Give me that
I was-
boat pole.
I'm just gonna put this in my pocket.
It's a collapsible thing. Yeah, see?
Oh, okay. But still.
And then it
It's
disappeared
rather
into
low.
his skeleton body.
I mean, he's probably got plenty of room inside that suit. Like,
Yeah, Danielle, we've been over how you're not allowed to retrieve objects until they're needed. I kind of appreciate that, just in the sense of, like, it makes it a little more logical than, like, the average adventure character who walks around just picking up everything. But from a
Right.
gameplay
Stick to
perspective,
their
it's a little
paw.
bit
I
frustrating.
need to try something else.
Oh, god damn it. Alright.
And it was the same thing in Cognition. And I know they're not the same, but they have the same walking animations and a lot of the same
It's the
design.
same,
things.
yeah, I think it's the same engine.
Yeah. But I like Cognition a lot more than I liked this. Let's just put it that way. But
You liked Cognition
I
more
don't
than
think
this?
Senor Cardello
Yes.
will miss this.
So I only played the first like probably half hour of Cognition
Okay.
of the first episode, and I was kind of not into it. You think it's worth going back and finishing at some point?
I
And
think
actually
so.
going through it.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed really janky the first bit, and like the writing was a little bit rough.
It gets better the next episode. The next episode, I liked the first episode, but the second one where I was like, oh man, this is really good. And I'm also a sucker for serial killer stuff,
Sure.
and that's what it is. So, and plus, I really liked Erica, and I liked her voice acting, and I thought she was cool.
Boat pole with florist putty.
It's a boat pole with some floor.
Oh my gosh,
Adventure
yes.
games.
What Danielle says in the chat is ridiculous later. You will stop appreciating it when you need to cross state and county lines to go from room to room. That was so annoying when we get there. If we get there, if we keep playing this.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing. I owe it to myself and to Jane Jensen. I'm probably going to keep playing this, but for better or worse. Did I do it?
I have a
think?
feeling this brass hook dropped from Bianca's purse.
Yeah.
I'll take it with me.
Is he going to discard the... Do you still have the boat pole with the putty?
I hope so. Whoa, what did your leg do there? You just kind of... Oof. Yep, I do.
This brass hook was under the bridge where Bianca
But
was
Can you-
murdered.
It's florist putty, which I don't know how that would work underwater, but whatever.
Well, florist putty probably, because it's probably supposed
Yeah,
to
you
work
like
with water.
squish it in there and stuff.
Because it's like flowers are going to have water in them.
But like submerged in water?
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
right, I know.
Can you do me a favor and try to use the putty pole on every character in the game from now on?
Yeah. Wait, what do I do now that I have that thing?
Oh, look, a hint. Let's see. I never used the hints because they gave me a walkthrough.
Just find out what it's for.
Oh, that is a
That's
useless hint. Okay.
Maybe the antique guy knows?
Hello again, Signore Barrow.
Austin says, if what they're going for
I don't
is,
have anything
well,
to
real
do.
people wouldn't just take objects before they needed them, then their solution shouldn't be, but they do go back into a stranger's apartment to
Yeah.
get flowers.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
I mean, real people don't, like, steal stuff from people's houses.
Real people
True.
are named Malachi Rector. That's the...
Okay,
we can
right,
go there.
sure. I guess real people steal stuff, but I guess
Bloodfist says,
nice people.
you know what else is a bad adventure game? Yesterday. Yeah, kind of. I feel like, did I end up reviewing that? Hold on, I need to... I played that with the intention of reviewing it when I first got hired at Polygon. I don't know if my review ever actually... No, it looks like it did not ever actually go up. But yeah, I did play that. I thought it was okay-ish. It was not great.
It's Goggler says, this game is a spiritual successor to Gabriel Knight. Do the puzzles ever reach cat hair mustache disguise levels of ridiculousness? Not to that extent, but there are some later where I was like, how the hell was I supposed to figure this out by myself? But I feel like
it's
there's
Goggler. I
always-
think part of that too is we talked about this earlier. Like Gabriel Knight 3 gets a bad rap for that and a couple of other puzzles, but like that's not the majority of the game. It really is just like one or two puzzles.
And I feel like there's always that one puzzle in an adventure game where you're like,
yeah.
what the hell were they
This
thinking?
brass hook was under the bridge where Bianca was murdered.
I guess can I like...
To be fair, there's a reason that
I
that
don't think
specific
Renata has
puzzle
any
is
more
infamous.
information for me.
Oh no, I mean it's a terrible puzzle.
I don't need to call him right now. I
What
don't
do-
need to
I
call
don't-
him right now.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. With
You want
my-
another hint?
Yeah. I'm glad I
Um,
have someone here who knows what's going on.
In her bedroom.
Yeah.
You need to go back in there.
I've been in here already.
You missed something when you were looking at the desk. It's really, if you're not looking for it, it's a little difficult to see, but it is there.
Is it another ear?
Yes, it's definitely in here.
Book booklets.
Nothing
I
interesting.
feel like walking
He
around.
saw it.
I recognize that.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying?
I feel like walking around and picking up disembodied
And there we
ears
have
would
it.
just fit Malachi Rector's character
Prescription cream for plaques and
a
Like-
little
eyes.
more than
Has
whatever
Bianca's
he's
name
actually
on it.
doing.
Like at the beginning of Blue Velvet.
Yeah, exactly.
Vorpalfem says, Phil, you can say that's not the whole game, but that might be what the game experience ended up being for people playing it if they just quit after it because they were stumped by a stupid puzzle. Anybody who plays adventure games didn't quit at that fucking puzzle, dude. Anybody who played adventure games looked up the solution to
I
that
wonder what
puzzle
this key
and
card
then
goes
kept
to.
going.
I should find out.
Yeah.
That's people who play adventure games are used to
It's
that.
a cheap prepaid phone. Who did Bianca need to speak to that she couldn't call on a regular
Dun
cell
dun
phone?
dun.
Let's see who Bianca was talking to. I need to find out who Gabriella is. I'll put this in my phone's contacts.
Okay, yeah, just add it to my phone.
Bianca kept this key card in a secret drawer. I should figure out what it opens.
Doesn't say anything on it?
I like how you have a picture of her, even though you've never seen her yet.
Yeah.
Pronto?
Am I speaking with Gabriella?
Sí. This is
Umbrella
Gabriela
says every
Spira.
adventure
Who's
game after
this?
Face Noir gets a
I'm calling
pass
about
except
Bianca
Face Noir
Cardona.
2.
I found your
Vorpalfem says, I
number
feel like
on
that's an
my
unfair
phone.
distinction
I
because there were
thought
people who
someone might be
weren't
calling
genre
me.
fans who played adventure
Are you
games.
with the police?
I feel like
I'm an
anybody who's playing the
independent
third
investigator.
Gabriel Knight game,
May we meet?
who's
I
jumping
work
into
near
the
the Dolce
third
Palace.
Gabriel Knight game,
There's a cafe on the
at a
north
point
side
when
of the
adventure
plaza.
games are already barely
Can you meet me
exist,
there?
Yes. I'll see you soon.
probably was like a fan of the series or the genre or something. Again, I'm not saying that everybody, like, I'm saying I don't think the majority of people who played that got to that puzzle and immediately quit. Okay, so I'm going to meet this lady now. Bloodfist says Hitman Go is actually really interesting. I've been hearing that. And it surprises me. Dogue Plaza.
What?
Much Plaza.
Really hitting the.
I mean, to be fair, we're making this joke. I'm sure it's probably a real place.
The Doja Palace dates
Just
back
like
to the
Murder
18th
Bridge.
century. The
I thought
tourists
this
love
place
it.
was pretty too. Like the reflections on the pavement and stuff.
I've toured the palace before. but
Danielle
don't have
says,
time this trip.
one good/accurate thing, people in Italy actually do say pronto when they answer the phone. So, Danielle, we were talking earlier, one of the things that James Denson generally does well
What a
is
stunning view.
mixing in
There really
historical
is no city like Venice.
and just like parts of locations. Like each of the Gabriel Knight games takes place in a different area, and really does a good job of creating a sense of that area.
The lady enjoys an afternoon espresso, I see.
I guess let's analyze her. Hair and makeup highlight face. Vain. Holy shit. Okay. Touches her hair. Highly conscious of social image. Tried a new shampoo. Feels insecure. Again, this is crazy. This is crazy.
I did a preview of it too before it was final.
Postal worker.
And in the preview, you had to find all the spots without the help of those eyes. And that was the worst thing ever.
Oh man.
Gabriel
It was-
Gabriel Spira is a dancer. She's vain and very concerned with her social image. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. 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 Austin just says, "Are you fucking with me right now?" Yeah.
Are you Gabriella Spira?
See, Signor Hector,
Ugh.
you're investigating Bianca's death?
That's right. May I?
Please, sit down.
Morris D says that is one claw of a hand on the armrest.
Janine says all attractive women are witches.
I wish witchcraft was one of the
About
choices
Bianca.
there.
Yes.
Austin says, so let's be clear. The idea is that he's right? Like, he isn't just wrong? I guess I don't know.
Tell me
I-
about Bianca's family.
I think the
She
idea
came
is
from a
that he
very
is
important family.
making
Her father is
a snap
Antonio
analysis of the
Savoy.
person based on his own
Her mother's father.
whatever.
He was a highly
And it's
respected
supposed to-
magistrate in Venice.
I feel like it's supposed to convey the historical thing he's doing also, but sometimes it
Not
does a
just
really
anyone
shitty
can be
job.
friends with someone like that.
Well, and it's like I said
Her
earlier,
family was
when he's doing it to
very,
objects, it's
protective
not
of
as
Bianca.
uncomfortable. When he does it to
But
people,
Right.
very
it's
fond
really
of me.
weird and very like he's just turning these people into like, well, if they look like this, they must be like this.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to add
And so
addendums.
far, it's been used to solve puzzles, so it's very much something that like he's right, you know. Bleeding Heart says, "Look at that bitch in her practical headband," and then ugh, neutral toned lipstick, Jezebel.
Tell me about Bianca.
She adored the music. She loved to go
I feel like I need to add
concerts,
addendums to this
and she
review.
loved to dance.
She continued.
Bleeding Heart
after
says,
she married
"No, Phil,
Dante
he's still doing it to
Candelo.
objects.
Yes.
Women are objects."
But she only
Aw.
went to the studio to practice
does it to
when
men,
no one
too.
else was there.
How did you meet Bianca?
We were in
Right
the
before
summer
he
of
says
pandemic.
that he only
No,
analyzes
I was at
objects.
first, but I came to love Bianca like a sister. I can't believe she's dead, and to die in such a way. It's horrible.
It certainly is. I'm sorry for your loss.
Tolbo, not every
Do you
skeleton.
have an idea who might have killed Bianca?
No, everyone loved her. She was very sweet, especially when you consider the importance of her family and all her money. She
This
was
game
not
is a
mean
lot
at
more
all.
entertaining if you just
He must
imagine
have
that he
been
is a skeleton in
what
a
do
suit
you
and a
call it?
rubber mask.
Serial killer. Random.
Yes, that's likely.
Yeah, Austin says, and like he isn't even doing it in interesting ways. Like he isn't like, oh hey, that's scars from being punched with brass knuckles or some shit. He's just like, ugh, lipstick and wheelchairs.
Yeah,
What's the name of
it's
your dance
really,
studio? I'd like
it's
to look
quite
up some of your
superficial.
performances.
Would you?
which is annoying.
I'm so flattered.
The one that makes me
Exciting
maddest
next
is
week.
later though,
It's La Compagnie.
Sure.
and it's also a woman,
Excellent.
and I don't want to
Look it
ruin the.
I
horror.
might know it from having read Danielle's review draft,
Two
but we'll
beautiful
see.
young women.
Yeah.
Best of friends. You knew Bianca better than anyone else, didn't you?
Well, I was her dearest friend. Bianca trusted me with her life.
And with her secrets? What did you know about Bianca that most people did not?
Crocbox says this is some
It
top-notch
wasn't
voice
anything
acting.
she
I actually
told
don't
me,
think the voice
but
acting's too bad.
Bianca
I kind
was
of-
very,
It's fine.
worried
I mean,
about
he
her looks.
pretty accurately
She was not
conveys a
confident.
smarmy asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was there
He did,
something specific about
He does
Bianca's
good.
looks that
The
you
voice
didn't
actor
like?
does a really good job of making me hate this
You know
guy's
him enough.
guts.
The slightest flaw.
he did something else too
I really
that
don't think
recently, and I'm
Bianca
gonna
would
look it
wish
up.
me to
Hold on,
speak of it.
because I was like, oh, I know that voice, like, but I didn't
can
realize it
tell
was
you
him till
this.
after. So
If she'd had
hold on.
more confidence, Bianca could have gone far. Perhaps become the wife of the Prime Minister one day. As it was, she was content to marry Dante and stay in Venice.
One thing that is probably worth mentioning, you know, because we have talked about, is he just wrong? Are we supposed to see him as an asshole? That kind of stuff. I mean, looking at Jane Jensen's previous work, particularly, again, Gabriel Knight, like, Gabriel Knight is 100% a series where the main character is charming in some ways, but he's also a huge dick in certain ways. And you're 100%, I think, supposed to see him as, like, he's supposed to be someone who players sometimes like, but then sometimes are like, what the fuck are you doing, you asshole?
Yeah.
So certainly Jane Jensen at least has a history of doing characters that way.
Sure.
You're not
Dante
always supposed to
Candelo,
like.
Bianca's husband.
She was very happy with
Yeah,
Dante.
he reminds me very
It was
much
her
of
dream to
House,
marry a
who is
politician.
an asshole.
And, well, she liked the attention of the press.
Why can't I find this face?
But I
Tell me
mean,
about Bianca's
does it
son.
go somewhere in Gabriel
What a
Knight?
beautiful
Like, do they
She
do they do
adored
something
him,
with
of
that,
course.
or is it just
She didn't mind?
In Gabriel
How
Knight, it's like a
child was she
core,
herself was so
certainly,
young?
Not Bianca.
at least in the
She
second one, I will
loved it.
say.
In
Okay.
fact,
It's a core
she
part
was
of the
expecting
story.
another
It's very
child
much
when she
like
died.
the story ends up being about his struggle between being a good person and an asshole in very interesting ways.
That's true, Danielle. House is funny, and Malachi is not. Good point.
I've actually never seen House. Real talk.
Did you say
It just
Bianca
got
was
put on
pregnant when she
Netflix.
died?
I would
How do you
recommend.
know? Oh,
I haven't finished the whole
no,
series, but
I
it's
don't know
pretty
if the
good.
family
It
would
seems like
approve
every
of me
episode's
saying
kind of the
so.
same.
It's quite all right.
Yeah, it's like a monster of the week,
How
but
far
with
along was she?
medical
About 3 months.
horrors
They just said it was
instead.
a girl. She was so excited. Oh,
I can't find the
God.
voice actor, but he was in another adventure
I'm
game, and I was like,
sorry.
oh, it's that guy.
Sometimes it all becomes too real.
I apologize for upsetting you. I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you for meeting me, Signorina Spira.
Grazia. If there's anything more I can do for you, please call.
I will. Arrivederci.
She's just gonna stay here forever, isn't she?
Probably.
Yeah, eat those pills.
We should have taken a tally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Austin says the thing here is not just, oh, he's an asshole, though. If his analyses of people based on split-second superficial judgments are right, then something else is being communicated, unintentionally or not.
Right.
The game is telling you that that's like a legit thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I was going with, like, does it do something with it?
Yeah. Okay, so I have almost everything. The only thing I have left to do is this key card. Where do I go with
Bianca
the key
kept
card?
this key card in a secret drawer.
She told you.
I should figure
Wait,
out
she
what
did?
it opens.
Yeah.
God, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying close enough attention.
She kept dancing after her husband was all like, no, don't dance. But she kept going in
Oh, the
secret.
Dance Academy.
Yep.
Cool. Spooky. Haunted Dance Academy.
There's
Make
no
him
way
try to
even
use the
know who
bar.
that
That was
is.
funny. I forget what he
Ballet
says,
bar,
but
polished by thousands of hands, and
Let's see.
I could get my leg that high, but then I'd have to kill you.
That's pretty good. That's legit.
his skeleton would probably explode.
There's no need
Oh.
to take that photo.
Whoa, I think
Dramatic. I don't know
so.
anyone
Moores
else.
in the chat suggests that they might be
There's
using
no
a
need to take that photo.
female skeletal rig
Bianca as
for the
cursed
main
princess
character
of
here,
Swan Lake.
which
My God. Her
seems
hands,
accurate but also
overly large
depressing
and reddened by
because
a severe skin condition.
he's like puffing his
Perhaps that's why
chest out and the
Bianca had
high
no more
shoulders and
grandiose
the
plans than being the wife
crazy
of the Mayor of Venice. Interesting.
butt
I gotta
walk.
watch him again now with that in mind.
I need a record of it, but I don't want to.
Wait, can I not?
Good. Now that's an interesting data point.
What is he doing?
I've
Took a
learned enough
picture of
about
it.
Bianca now to attempt
Oh.
my analysis.
I thought he
Picture
was
of a
gonna
picture.
start. I thought he was gonna
Those
start
costumes are
imitating the
stylish, but there's
ballerinas.
no one I know
That
in
would have been the
photo.
best.
Just doing a little dance.
A prima ballerina.
All right. Let's. So now we can have enough info. We can do our analysis. Let's. We have to figure out which person she's like from history.
Austin, God, dude, the gallery lobby had a big sign that said no photos. What a jerk.
those people. They're all gone. Gone and gone.
I like your method.
So there's nobody who had the skin condition in history. No one in history had that,
Never ever.
apparently. I'm gonna go with this one. Bam! Closest historical match is Livia Drusilla, wife of Roman Emperor Augustus. But there are 2 significant data points that don't match.
I think that completes my investigation in Venice. I'll let Dexter know I'm
Austin
done and
says,
on my
God, I
way
like that
home.
Phil has just gamed this. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm taking the first flight in the morning. Dexter
Oh.
wants to see me straight from the airport.
Cutscene.
Won't take a report from the phone. Yes.
I really like how the cutscenes are done,
Mhm.
like comic book style,
Big
almost.
secrets, I-
Oh boy. Oh, ninja.
Oh.
Bloodfist, that's the analysis thing. It's a long story. You gotta watch from the beginning to understand it. What, is he analyzing them right now? Okay. Asian! What is this?
You could have just asked for an introduction.
Tilva, we weren't actually investigating the murder. Our goal was to go here, get enough information about her to compare her to people throughout history. It's not, and he was hired to do this. He didn't. It's not something that he wanted to do.
Yeah, he did this under duress, basically.
They took photos of my
Well,
passport.
I
For
mean,
money.
duress of not being paid a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Their
But-
faces were covered.
But
were
they
Asian.
were pretty forceful, and plus, if you said no, they weren't gonna let you not do it. So
Tilvo said, Sub-Zero and Reptile, get out of
I
here.
had no idea you would be in any danger. This was a fact-finding mission, nothing more. Please, if you would be so kind as to tell me what you learned about Bianca Cardolo. Did you make any connection between her and anyone in history?
No.
We were certain there must be something.
The person could
Wait.
make the mistake of
Oh.
associating her with Livia Drusilla. She was the wife of Augustus Caesar. Had a father descended from 2 prominent bloodlines, the Livy and the Claudi. Her mother was a daughter of a magistrate, and her first husband shared a bloodline.
Tolvo, Phil, what you just described as the actual plot makes way less sense.
I mean, it's not. It's if you watch from the beginning, it's not that.
No. And once
It's not that hard to
Mal-
suspend the disbelief on it.
Yeah, and once Malachi starts to know more, we start to know more, and it starts to make more sense within the
Oh,
game logic.
You do associate Bianca Cardolo with Livia Drusilla.
I already said no. Look at her hands. Augustus appreciated beauty, too much so. He would have never married a woman with a physical flaw like this one.
That's very insightful. Thank you. We would like to continue to work with you.
No,
If
you
you're
guys are
amenable.
creeps.
I thought the fee was generous.
I want to know what this is all about.
The truth is, I can't trust you. Not yet. Perhaps in time, as we work together. I understand.
Bloodfist says,
a
"What
man
the
of
fuck
your
is the point of
intellect
this
how
historical
curious
matching shit?
you
We
must
don't
be,
know yet.
how frustrating it is
These dudes are
not
making us
knowing
do it. We don't know."
everything you want to know.
I'm
Yeah,
not
Malachi
fighting.
doesn't know yet.
Done. If you
And
do it
he's
again,
walking out right now
I'll
because he's
tell.
annoyed that he doesn't know.
Would it matter to you if I told you that your work for us could be of invaluable service to your country and your countrymen? Maybe the entire world.
No.
What a dick.
You're not seriously gonna let him go.
I am. We'll wait.
Austin's really hoping it's Highlander.
Minora says, "My Asian upbringing and sense of obligation to my people makes me have this knee-jerk reaction of wanting to apologize for any Asians that did something bad. I apologize for my ninja Asian
We'll do
brethren. Forgive us."
everything we can to locate her. You have my word, Senator.
We can't risk that.
Was there ever a Highlander?
Senator! Oh my god! Senator with the creepy, inhuman eyes.
Very well. Keep in touch. I'd like to hear more.
She's not dead.
Won't you come up to bed?
I will, darling. soon.
She's apparently in that doorway. She may or may not have been naked. It is now chapter 2. What other obvious
The
things
wheel
can I
turns.
say?
Secret Wheel of Time game.
I appreciate that it lets you save during intermissions. I don't know why. That was just a nice touch, I thought.
Austin says, I'm really hoping it's Highlander. Please be a secret Highlander game.
Zero says, when was this game made? It literally just came out last week. So, so not very long ago.
When did the Kickstarter start?
The Kickstarter was 2012.
Okay,
Like,
so it's
early-ish 2012.
So they've been working on it since at least then.
I think they started at the end of the Kickstarter because they were just it was like middle or near the end of the Kickstarter when they announced that Phoenix Online Studio was going to do it.
Okay.
Oh, look at him. Attack? Oh. Carjacking. Mugging. Jeez. Really? Okay.
I want to point out how terrible Malachi's outfit is for the desert.
Already killed someone.
And how terrible an idea it is to keep a gun there.
From the military. Jeeps and tanks mostly, but I
Wait,
know my way around.
does Malachi think this guy's hot, or like the temperature?
I was not sure, actually.
Zuki notes he has money, so it's okay. It's cool to trust him.
Austin, drinking water not illegal.
What? They're just laughing at each other now.
Just trying to help. I think I can fix this. Or I can keep walking.
I'll pay you if you fix it.
Is
Otherwise, I'll be standing here all night.
Malachi going to turn out to
I'm
be
David Walker, by the way.
like a weird history loop of Sherlock Holmes, even though Sherlock Holmes wasn't actually real?
Don't spoil it.
And then this guy is Watson.
Neither of you can spoil it. You haven't played it. You're safe. I have to be careful.
Yeah, you do have to be careful.
I think that
I
should do it.
appreciate
Try starting her up.
the care that you're taking, not spoiling it. Thanks for joining us again, Kelsey, by the way. I would love to have you back on the stream and do some more streaming stuff with you.
I would love to be back.
We'll be back tomorrow night.
That's
What are you guys
true.
doing?
Full throttle.
Oh,
Full
snap.
throttle.
Probably. Here's what I'm gonna say. Haven't finished this game yet, but I feel okay saying Full Throttle probably a better adventure game than this.
Full Throttle is my top 5 games ever. So yes, absolutely.
You should join us tomorrow, Phil, if you got time.
Do it.
People in the chat noting that he is part of his whole analysis thing is determining their ethnicity, and apparently that also helps him decide the rape percent.
I should take a look at my dossier on
that's
the
all
canopic
really
chest
sketchy.
and review my notes.
Crockwalk says, "Is this Worst Person Simulator 2014?" Really weird name for it, but oh no, our pole with the putty is gone.
Here's a general rule. Nothing valuable ever comes in wicker. That's
cool. So you guys are going to be doing the Full Throttle thing over here on StreamFriends?
Yep.
Excellent.
So like we'll catch everyone up to what happened tomorrow.
Actually, I was thinking we'll probably just start over because when you know what to do in an adventure game,
Good point.
really quick to just
Yeah.
bop through it really fast. We could probably get back to where we are now in the first half of,
Oh, absolutely.
in like half an hour.
In point of
Yeah.
fact, it's a pit. On the other hand,
But yeah,
at
we
least I
started
can
that
get a look
over
at
on
his
my
shop
personal
before our
channel.
meeting tomorrow.
Actually, we started,
I could
speaking of
use
good
some
and bad
sleep,
adventure
but I
games, we
should
started
look around the neighborhood and try to
playing
learn something about
Space
Masri
Quest
before our meeting
4
tomorrow.
because that was an adventure game from my childhood, and I remember
carry on
liking it
back.
a lot, but that game is terrible.
I feel like it might not hold up.
It so does not hold up in a way that I wondered why. I must have had the patience of a saint when I was a
Yeah,
kid to play
I
that
have
game,
no
because
idea how you played that as a
holy crap.
I mean,
in Cairo when I first
as
landed.
kids,
It seemed
I feel like
advisable after the
most
fiasco in
kids, their
Spain.
approach to games
I
is
wish
much
I were
more patient.
comfortable using it. I suppose
Because
I'll
you
have
have
to
so
take
few,
lessons
right?
The next time I'm home.
Right,
True.
yeah.
How
It's
thrilling.
okay if this adventure game is really frustrating and takes you 6 months to get through, because you might not have another
If I'm
game for
going
that
out on the
6 months.
streets, I suppose I should take
Right.
this with me.
But man, they're-
Bloodfist says, I would recommend The Last Express, which fucking rules. I've heard good things about Last Express. I have not played it.
I
I've
have it. I
never-
haven't played it yet.
I've heard
But I
good
know
things
there's-
about the for adventure game stuff. I've heard good things about the Blackwell games.
It's a stock photograph.
Oh my god, yes. I'm okay. I just played all 4, and I'm reviewing Epiphany on Thursday morning. My review goes up.
Sure. How many is it?
Nice.
How many are there?
5.
Jeez, there's so many.
They're very short though. You could the first 3 you could probably do in 2.5 hours each, but then the second 4 and 5 get longer. But they're so good. Anything from Wadget Eye is
Sure.
excellent.
I have a bunch of I really like adventure games.
Yeah, I
but
do as well.
I don't play
As
them
much
a
as
whole lot.
As much as I make fun of them, I also do really like them.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, I always played them with friends.
Sear asks if this game was originally designed to star a woman. No, I mean, like, pretty much from the moment that it got announced, they were showing off
I wonder how long
Malachi
that
Rector. So, if it was not in terms of like
There's nothing
when
I
they were
need.
actually working on the engine or anything like that.
A public
And
trash
Jane
can.
Jensen just wrote a whole thing about why she likes to write
The
male
Seven Wonders
characters.
Hotel.
Yeah, that was a really interesting
First
post
wonders that
on.
anyone
I
stays
saw it
here.
on Gama Sutra.
Yeah, me too.
Specifically, I think about
Magnificent
writing
Cairo.
sexy
What a
male
fascinating
characters,
city.
Yeah.
which, maybe there's other male characters who show up, because I wouldn't necessarily call Malachi very sexy, but
It's a container of
although I guess you were saying like the accent does it for you.
The accent, he's a trope,
That's Mr.
and
Masri's
it
shop.
hits some people's buttons, all of them, and some people probably
I mean,
not.
We
But
already previously discussed those shoulders. Am I right? I mean, come on.
And then the guy you just met in the desert, he was decently good looking.
I assume he is a recurring character.
That's Mr. Masri's
I don't know,
shop.
maybe.
I need to learn more about Martin.
It'd be random for him to just
The
show up in
Seven
the
Wonders
desert
Hotel.
and then never come
The
back.
first wonder is that anyone stays here.
Yeah, it seems like in terms of people who make adventure games exclusively or primarily right now, Wajidai seems like the best of the best. Phoenix Online Studios, they do a lot of adventure games, but their adventure games have always struck me as a little bit more like, a little more on the janky end,
Magnificent.
a little more like even when they have the right ideas, like they're not quite there.
Yeah.
Which ones do they make?
They made this.
Oh. Duh.
But everything I played from Wadget Eye has been excellent, story-wise, art-wise, and I feel like if you go back to the pixel art, you
Thankfully, I've never had to
completely
stay in one of these.
eliminate problems like we're having now with the ridiculous skeleton person.
Yeah. Well, and there's more space for the player to enter into with
Boy, I'm sure he has some great
Greetings,
stuff to
sir.
say about the
Would you
people
like
in this
a room?
hostel.
Oh, I
thought I'd
don't
look around.
want to
I'm
know.
sorry, but you can't enter unless you're staying here. I need to see a registration card.
Chat's talking about Resonance. That's the last one I need to play from
She's
them,
young.
and then I'll be all done with their
What do you
classic
need to
stuff.
A hostel registration card or a credit.
We should play that one on stream because I have that game too, and I never played it.
Okay.
I don't need a room.
Actually, that's not true. I played like the first 10 minutes and thought the robot. I thought the main character and his little like weird floating head buddy were pretty charming.
Oh, that's not Resonance. That's Primordia.
Oh right, yeah. Duh,
And that
sorry.
that was my first Wedge Eye, and that was actually Wormwood Studios. Wedge Eye just published it, but it still has the
Open
same
a
aesthetics
garbage
and
pit.
stuff. And
How
that
convenient.
was so
It's
good.
such a waste of
Right.
energy to have to lift
That was
a
my
lid.
first one.
Actually, I also need to play Resonance 2 though. I actually own all of their games, but I have not yet to play a single Watch Eye games.
A Roman aqueduct.
Cinerix Wedge Eye did
River
make
was quite the
Resonance.
achievement in its time. It's no longer in use, but it's impressive that it's still standing.
They published Primordia. I think
door looks
that
like
might
it's
have been their only published one, but
I don't know what's
I'd
in
have to
that
look it
building.
up. But they definitely made Resonance and Gemini Rue and the Blackwells. And Shiva was really good too, and that was very unique.
Oh yeah, that game always seemed really good.
It was. I mean, how many games can you say you got to play a rabbi? That was
Right.
awesome.
Magnificent
Just walking all over right now.
Magnificent. Looks like a private residence.
I'll just go
I
inside.
don't need to go in. Wooden crates. Impromptu seating.
Gemini Rue is good too.
That crate
Miss
can
Goose
stay
brought
where it
that one up. I like that one a lot. I like them all a lot.
The other modern
It's a dumpster for trash.
adventure people,
It's
like there's
rather
a
old-fashioned.
bunch of pretty good like German adventure games.
Daedalic.
Yeah, Daedalic,
Yeah.
Nordic Games, King Arts. The Book of Unwritten Tales is
I've heard that's really good.
it's really funny and charming.
That
I mean, well, okay, maybe not really funny, but you know, like
I
it's
know.
just
I think that's one
it's
that
got a lot of heart.
Danielle
It's
reviewed
a
for us
wooden
as
ship.
well and really liked.
I don't have a
Yeah.
reason
I
to
have, but I haven't played it yet. But yeah, I like that adventure games are experiencing a new surge in
building is a
popularity.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Do you know what you have to go do right now?
Do I what?
Do you know what
Excuse
you have to go? Do you know what you have to go do right now?
I don't know. I'm supposed to talk to locals.
Yes. Okay. This is where I got him to walk
Hookahs are used
backwards.
to
I
smoke
hope you
flavored
can too,
tobacco.
because it was
The
really
smoke is
funny.
filtered through water before it's inhaled.
Thank you for
God
explaining.
knows
a
what
hookah to me.
tobacco. The bartender looks like a decent sort. Given his
There
age and
was
bearing,
also-
he's probably the owner.
Night of the Rabbit was
Yeah.
pretty
Ooh,
good.
That was so cute. I did a preview of it, but I haven't finished it yet. But
Yeah.
that's really.
I heard good
I
things
love
about that as
that.
well.
Some of the puzzles I never,
Good evening.
you know,
Welcome to
it's
the
an adventure
Lady of
game,
the
so I never
Dunes.
finished it.
What can I
But
do for you?
Mm.
some of the puzzles are a little
Yeah.
adventure gamey, but the animation and the
My Skook says, "Hey Phil, are you going to play that Sherlock Holmes game or what? It would be a good stream game. Probably at some
Is
point.
this
I
your
don't know.
establishment?
Yes, sir. For many years.
You must know the neighborhood well, then.
Yes, sir.
Do you know Mr. Youssef Masri? He owns a shop down the street.
I know him.
What can you tell me about him?
Nothing. It's better to stay clear of offending that man. But talk to those two over there in the corner. Hassim knows him well.
Okay.
Thanks for the tip.
People are talking about Monkey Island now, and that was one of my first. Was Curse of Monkey Island, and that's a classic. That's one of my favorites. And then you have an excuse to pick up everything you see because you're a pirate.
Oh boy. Guarded, resentful expression. Okay, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think it's probably the last one.